Hi there, lightlings. May peace and light be with all of you. I absolutely am grateful that you're here today. Sorry, I gotta do some adjusting. Okay, is that better? I think that's better. So it is actually the beginning of hurricane season here in Florida. It starts June 1st, so exciting, can't wait. I may be not able to do videos outside in the future, but anyway, I know I talked about, my name is Beth. I am an empath. I am a Reiki master. I am a funeral director, a licensed funeral director. I do not practice anymore. I'll get into that story in another video. I do a lot of things, a light worker, spirit guide, bereavement coach, whatever you would like to say I am. I could probably do that. But anywho, I have been talking a lot about like etiquette for funerals and cemetery etiquette and what to expect, kind of. And again, I will revisit everything and I'll make them prettier videos and make it more fun, stuff like that. But for right now, I'm just trying to get content out there just so I can get used to doing this, because I'm not, even though I stand in front of people and tell them, hey, thanks for coming, pay attention to your loved one and things like that, it's not something I'm really comfortable doing. So trying to just get myself used to doing this. So if any of you are out there like me and you're doing the same thing, good luck to you. I wish you the best, and I'm really happy that people are trying. But so anyway, so today I had the idea that I would talk to you about our parents and our parents dying and grieving the loss of our parents, and kind of what to expect, and even being out of town and away from them when they're sick and passing. Just first, I want to say, anybody who this hits home with, you don't have to watch anymore. It is a difficult subject to talk about, death and dying, and some people can do it. Some people have harder time doing it, and some people just are, no, it's so taboo, they won't even talk about it. It's bad. It's bad luck to talk about it. But with death comes new beginnings as well, so don't be afraid, and don't poo-poo it. It's a part of life, the circle of life, the Lion King. Anywho, so I'm going to start off with our aging parents. A lot of us right now, we're parenting our parents, and if you're in Generation Z or Generation X, oh my gosh, Gen X, I'm so sorry. We're raising our parents and raising our kids, some of us, and it's not easy. It's hard to do. But just hang in there. It'll be okay. You look for help if you can. There's caregiver groups out there that do a lot of support, and they have support groups and want you to take care of yourself as well. Don't think that you have to neglect yourself to take care of your aging parents because you feel you need to. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, yes, I think we should take care of our parents because it's the right thing to do. But everybody's life growing up was different, so you can't be forced to do something you don't feel comfortable doing. So again, consider that. Maybe it's just something that's not meant for you, or it is. It's okay. It's okay. I don't judge. I don't know about your parents though. But anyway, that's a joke. I'm just kidding. But so many of us have parents that are retired that have moved to other states, whether it be Arizona, California, Florida, Texas, something warmer, because they just don't want to deal with the cold. They don't want to deal with a yard. They want to live in a community that's going to take care of things, that's going to have like gatherings and get-togethers and stuff, and the over 55 communities. where kids aren't invited except for you have to ask permission, and yeah, they're kind of big down here. But anyway, so with this said, sometimes they're from New York, New Jersey, Chicago, Washington State, anywhere up north, Indiana, Ohio. And they come down here, and the family's still all up there, and they're aging, and they're getting older, and they're down here. And you may talk to them on the phone, video chat, come and visit. They go visit you, and you guys spend holidays together, and and you try to be a part of each other's lives as much as you can. But there's still that something missing. But when it comes time for you to make that decision, is it safe anymore for mom to drive? Is it safe for dad to go for a walk on the trail like he used to? Should I move down there or move them up with me? Or, God forbid, one of them passes and now you have to disrupt your life and come down here. Not that it's an inconvenience, but as a funeral director, in my experience, many children have found it an inconvenience. I had to stop going to work. I had to take time off to come down here and do this. Well, that's kind of what happens. You don't just forget about them and not do anything for them. But anyway, I digress. Yes, you do have to disrupt your life. Everybody does. When death happens, it happens. It sucks. It really, really sucks. There's no other way around it. That's just what it is. It sucks. Death sucks. But it's going to happen. So, things to think about. So, now dad has passed and you have mom down here by herself. She wants to stay. You know what? Give her time. If she's capable of living on her own and she's capable of making the payments on whatever she's got to make, or she doesn't have to make payments and she could just live however, let her do that. Give her time, at least a year. Don't force your parents to move with you because you want to watch them. That's totally uncool. They don't like it. Would you like it if your kids came up to you one day and said, "Come on, kiddo, we're going back to Chicago"? Hell no. I'd be like, kiss my ass. I'm staying down here where it's warm, So, but again, it's a very divided topic because many times they feel they need to go back with the family because they feel alone. But many, many, many times, and I've seen both sides, where they're like, hey, look, we had this life down here, we're living, I'm going to stay, and I'm going to be supported by my friends. I don't need to go. And it goes either way, whether the father dies or the mother dies, grandfather, grandmother, whichever. But let them decide. Feed off of them. Don't force them. I know sometimes our parents were hard on us and they were very forceful to us, but don't be like that to them. Especially during a situation like that. They just lost their person that's been with them for however long, and even if it's a second, third, fourth, fifth, however many you want to put in there, marriage, it's still their person. They went and they decided to be with them for whatever reason, so let them have that say. With that said, sometimes, Mom, you want to stay down here? We can't afford to put you in the house. We can't afford for you to keep the house. We have to make that decision. It sometimes does have to be quite sudden. Again, don't leave them out of that decision-making process. Don't just come in and say, this is what we're doing, and then just expect them to go along with it. It's not going to end well, and it could cause more grief for you guys in the long run. Again, everybody is different. And, you really just need to kind of feed off of each other and work together. It's not easy. It's never easy to go through something like this. First, you've got disruption from death, and now you've got disruption from having to uproot and go move somewhere else. And sometimes the families from the other states move down, or they come down half of the year or part of the time. And, it's whatever you can do financially, whatever works for you. Anyway, with that, I can move on to putting our loved one, our parents in nursing homes. Sometimes they need care. Sometimes they will fight you. Heck, I'm just going to say, if my kids came to me and said, hey mom, you're going to move up here with me because you can't take care of yourself down there and I can't afford for you to live down there and blah, 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 blah. You're moving in with me. No, I'm not. I would totally put up a stink because I'm very independent and I'm very, very stubborn. I will not, no. And my children know this. Going in a nursing home is another thing that I have an issue with. Not all nursing homes are bad, but not all of them are good. Do your research. Do not just assume because this is where her Medicare says that they can go, that that's where they should go. Same thing with an end-of-life house, a hospice house. Don't just assume. Look around, do your research, talk to the nurses, get to know the staff. You get to know the staff, they're going to get to know you, they're going to get to know mom or dad, and they're going to do a little bit better of taking care of them. And also, they become part of their family too, because they are taking care of them. They're feeding them, they're giving them their meds, they're bathing them, they're changing diapers, whatever, cleaning up their apartments. I've never stayed in any of those facilities, so I don't really know how they work when it comes to that. But I've heard horror stories, and I think it's not good. And we just gotta be careful. Make sure that if this is something that has to be done, you get a POA. You get a will made, written up. Make sure. In the state of Florida, if mom bought a crypt and she wants to be put in this $5 million crypt that she hasn't built yet and was still paying on it, she has to be put in that because that's the contract that was signed by her, and that's how it has to work. And then if you decide you don't want to do that and you want to put the whole kibosh on it, you're not going to get the money back right away. There's going to be a fight for it. So you make sure that there's a will, you make sure that you guys are all on the same page, that somebody has access to those accounts, because without that access, you're not going to pay for anything. No bills, no funeral rights, no nothing. There will be, that money will be on hold and you will have a hard time getting it. And it can take months for the court system to give you access. So please just be preemptive. I know it sucks. I know nobody wants to talk about death. It's so super, super taboo, but it's super, super important that you're preemptive and you're prepared in that sense where, okay, we know who's going to handle what, how it's going to be handled, and everybody's going to be in agreement. If people don't agree, it delays things. It's not a joke. It's not something you just see on TV. It really, really happens. People get delayed. I've had families not agree, and we couldn't bury someone, and we've had to wait and wait and wait and wait until somebody decided, oh, well, I guess that we'll have to do it. Even though they do have a contract, whoever is in the will or has the POA, well, a POA after death, it doesn't work anymore. But anybody who has access to that stuff, who has the next of kin availabilities, and next of kin is in this order. If it's, so say I'm the one who passes away, it's going to be my spouse. If my spouse passes away before me, then it's going to go to my children. My children all equally have access to making that decision. Not one of them can come in the state of Florida and say she's going to be cremated, and then the other three said no, she wanted to be buried. I don't want either. Just heads up. I want to be water cremated, but that's a whole nother episode. But anyway, but yeah, they have to agree. The funeral home will want you to agree before they do anything. They will not say, yeah, that's okay. However, if there is a contract, a prearranged contract, they will more than likely push towards that because that's what mom wanted, that's what dad wanted, that's what they signed 20 years ago when they came down here to prepare for their retirement. That's one of the things they did. This is what they decided, you know. So just be aware that that is something that in at least Florida, I'm assuming other states do it too, that it will have to be agreed upon. I've had families that have had 5, 6, 7 kids. I've had to contact every single one of them, and if I couldn't contact them, I had to ask one of them, could you have them contact me? And I had to speak to every individual child to get permission to do a cremation. Cremation is 100% final. It cannot be reversed at any expense. So it needs to be 100% agreement. So even if mom put that on there and somebody's off in the background going, I think she wanted to be married, then you have to, I step out of the room and you guys have to discuss it, and I come back before anything can take place. So there's that. What else? So, I mean, no, grief about losing our parents and grief about, you know, and if you take care of your parents yourself, good to you, good for you. It's a hard thing to do. It's hard to care for people who are stubborn or who have unfortunately get Alzheimer's and don't have memory loss and don't remember you, and it's really, really hard. And sometimes you do have to put them in a home so they'll be taken care of, because sometimes they do. They get out of bed, they hurt themselves, they fall, they break their hips, break their wrists, they do. I think it's like extreme adulting sometimes. I mean, it's pretty intense what these injuries some of these seniors can get, some of our parents can get. It can be pretty, how did that happen, you know? And it can be also the end for them, because it takes a long time to recover from things a lot, especially like hip injuries and things like that. And when you're not mobile and you're just laying there and you can't do anything, it makes it harder, especially when you don't have family visiting, especially when you're alone. You just don't want to go on. Anybody would feel that way, not just somebody who has a broken hip. But yeah, so, you know, kudos to those of you who do take care of your parents. My parents died fairly young, so I didn't have to do that. My mom was always telling me as I was an adult, and mind you, I have 4 children, so she always told me I don't want to be a burden, so I'm going to make sure I'm not a burden. She didn't commit suicide, nothing like that happened. She had to take care of her mom when she had 4 kids, and it was really tough on her. It was really, really hard, and she felt bad because she was happy, really, not happy. Happy's not the word. Relieved when her mom died, because she didn't have to do it anymore. And it was a burden, and she did not want to be known as that, and she wasn't. And I'm not judging her in any way, shape, or form. I would have taken care of her till her last day if she was still alive. I would not have not taken care of my mother. My siblings would not have not taken care of my mother. We knew she would have needed help. She was sickly most of her life, her adult life. So we knew she needed help. She was very stubborn. I wonder where I get it from. But anyway, so yeah, she was quiet, stubborn, but she was stubborn. And she got things her way when she wanted them her way. But anywho, I'm digressing. I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. I'm trying to remember where I was going to. I definitely think that, you know, taking care of your parents is a difficult thing. And if you do need help, by all means, get that help. Caregiver support groups, all that stuff. But when they pass, it's hard. You've had them your whole lives. They've raised you, they've good or bad, ugly or pretty, whatever the case may be. Sometimes, you know, you have to accept that they were still your parent, they were still your family, and it does hurt. It doesn't matter how close you were to them, it still hurts. Please don't feel guilty. If you couldn't take care of them, You couldn't be there when they passed. You couldn't handle the funeral. Don't feel guilty. Everybody handles death differently. It is super imperative to not feel guilty, especially if you feel relief when they pass. Because you know what happens? Ooh, I just had a lizard on my foot. um, what happens is you're watching them suffer. You go visit them in that nursing home, that memory care facility. You're watching them home in that bed. You're just watching them basically rot. And you're saying your goodbyes as that's happening, especially when they don't remember you. So you've already gone through that grieving process. It doesn't end. It never ends. My parents passed away 21 years ago. My mom passed away 21 years ago. My dad, 28. So it never ends. It's always there. You're always going to have that. It's always going to come back at the dumbest moments. I've been in the grocery store and heard Lionel Richie song and my mom, it happens. You're going to continue go through the grieving process. Don't dismiss those feelings. Don't just say, oh, I'm so pathetic. Oh, I'm sorry. Don't apologize. You owe it to yourself to feel those feelings. Let them go through. Let them be what they need to be, because you use those feelings to help you cope. You use those feelings to help you grow. And eventually, you're going to go through another cycle of the grieving process, which is what I think we have. Oh my goodness, my teacher would be so mad at me. I'm failing this test right now. We've got denial, we've got anger, we've got bargaining, depression, and acceptance. 5 of them. And there's more. There's way more. And sometimes we get stuck in the depression one. We get stuck. We really get stuck. It's okay. Please ask for help. There are so many people out there that know what to do, and there's a lot of people that don't. The best possible outcome in that situation is to go to hospice care and ask them what or who they think you can talk to, because they will know who is proficient in death. Death doula popped in my head. That's not what it is. In death experience, in death therapy, and not always therapy. Sometimes it's just a coach. Sometimes it's just somebody like me that's watched it for 10 years, and you're like, there's more than this. There's got to be more. But our parents, we love them. We hope that they love us, and I'm sure most of them do. It's hard. It's hard, especially when you're the one that has to go, and you're the voice of the family that has to go, and you have to make the decisions at the funeral home. Then you're sitting there like, I don't remember. I don't know what this is. I didn't get that. Just pay attention to that first call. When they call you, they're going to ask you lots and lots of questions. They're going to tell you certain things. Make sure you have a pen and paper. You're not going to remember it. I'm sorry, you won't. It doesn't matter what your memory is like. It is a very, very difficult time. You're not going to remember. So just write it down. Make sure to drink water. Make sure to take care of yourself. Eat your food. Get rest as much as you can. And understand that it is going to be a process. It's not going to happen overnight. Nothing in this industry happens overnight. Unless you're Jewish, and even then, it doesn't happen overnight. But just be kind to yourself when it comes to the planning and the not knowing and the not understanding, and know that the funeral home, the people that work there, the funeral directors, the attendants, the receptionist, the cemetery workers, they're all there and they're trying to help you. They're not trying to hurt you. Yes, they do have to ask for money and it feels like painful when you have to pay that money, but they're not trying to hurt you. They're there to help. That's really what they want. They know you're struggling, they know you're suffering, and they want to help. Allow them to. Take their advice because they know, I've seen all spectrums of it, and it's a lot. It's a lot to hold on to. It's a lot to take. But if somebody were to come to me and say, hey, I lost my person, my mom or whatever, and come up to me and ask my advice about it, I would say I would listen. That would be the first thing that I would do. I would let them talk. I love stories. I love hearing about what they liked in life. And you know what? That's actually kind of healing because it makes you feel, oh yeah, they did like that. My dad loved cardinals, or my mom loved hummingbirds, or, oh, look, a dragonfly. I remember when a dragonfly landed on mom's nose and make jokes about it. And it's okay. Those are wonderful things to talk about. And you could be funny in a funeral home. You don't have to be stoic and absolutely no emotion. Cry, laugh, be sad, go through the emotions. You're in a safe place. You're allowed to do that. Funeral directors may seem funeral directy. Yeah, they're very directy. They're very, very like they don't care, but they do. They want you to do what you need to do and they give you the space to do that. So accept that space, and it's okay. You want to sit there and drink coffee. Generally speaking, an arrangement conference can take 3 to 4 hours anyway. So if you want it to take time, let it take time. If you don't want it to take time, then be quick about it and be prepared. If you have questions, ask them. That's what funeral directors are for. They answer your questions. We don't hold things back from people. We don't keep secrets. It's not the plan of the industry to keep secrets and not let you know what we're doing. Because that's horrible and that's awful, and it's also illegal. Nobody wants to lose their license and their job because of keeping a secret. Ooh, bugs are starting to get to me. I think I'm going to have to end this pretty soon because I'm starting to get bit up out here because of the rain's coming. We just had some rain and we're going to get some more. But anyway, yes, don't feel guilty if you feel relief if your parents have passed after taking care of them. Don't feel guilty. Take care of yourself still. Go get your nails done. Go get your hair cut. Go, I don't know, get a massage. Whatever it is that makes you feel like you. Go ahead and do that. And never feel guilty if you come in and you're like, I wasn't close to them. I really don't give a crap. How can we make this happen quick? Don't feel bad. And don't be like, I'm a horrible person for it. You're not. That's the relationship you had. That's just how it works. So, yes, if you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I'm going to try to make these videos a little better. I know they kind of suck right now. But again, I'm just trying to get used to this whole process and learning what to do and how to do it and everything. And I feel it's coming along a little bit. I do like being outside, but I don't know, the wind chimes are probably taken away from a lot. Although they are very pretty to look at. And you don't have to look at my face. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. I know I didn't quite finish. I kind of just go into these willy-nilly and then I think about it later, like, oh, I should have said that. So I will eventually go through and, re-video the things I've talked about just so I could get more in-depth and more specific. But I just like to let people know that, you're not alone. Grief is difficult. It's hard. Doesn't matter who you are. It sucks. It really blows. So just keep in mind that you're not alone. You feel alone. You're not. There are people out there. There's resources, there are support groups, all kinds of things. The best places to start, if you don't know where to start, are hospice houses for grief support and churches. And whether you go to church or not, they do really, really, really help. And they are in it for the good, not necessarily for you to be a member of the church. I've been to many support groups and churches, and I don't go to church anymore, and I haven't for a long time. So my choice, another story. But thank you very much for watching. Love and light to all of you guys. Can I do this? Eee, it's so cute. Eee. Love, love, and I wish you all well and much, much, much happiness and light. Mwah.